Hi, and welcome to episode 2 of A Tale of Two Time Zones. My name's Taylor Sinstadt, obviously, with Blackfyre Productions, and I'm having a conversation with Damian over at the GBHL, and we're doing this kind of back and forth video pal, like a pen pal type thing. So he saw my post last week, well, this week, because I'm posting this on Saturday, the roundtable discussion that I was like, hey, I want to do a talking video while I paint, so I actually paint. So what should I do? And he popped into my inbox and he said, dude, let's talk. Let's do, you do one, I do one, we talk back to each other, continue the conversation, figure all that out, and then go from there and see if it works. It seemed to have worked. Everybody seems to enjoy it from all the comments that we've got. I'm going to comment about some of those in a bit. I'm going to talk about Damian's talk back, his kind of stuff that he was chatting about while he was painting, and I'll bring up some new stuff that's coming up. So, yeah, here goes nothing. Where do I want to start? So in the last video I talked about some of the events that were coming up. We had Second Breakfast, hosted by Don Barnett of the OSBGL. That's why I needed the Ruffians for, because at that event it was more of a casual gaming day. He did Middle-earth's Deadliest Warband, and he did, he was doing some of the books from the Scouring of the Shire. I think that's what the book's called, the old Hobbit book that was out there. And so he was doing some of the scenarios from that, so he needed some Ruffians for that guy. So I painted some up, we used some of them, it was a great day. My friend Andrew Barbazan actually came away with the Deadliest Warband of Moria Dwarves, Khazad-Guard, Captain, a couple of the Iron Guard, and what else did he have? I think that was it. He runs mostly elite troops for his army. So he ran with those guys and came away with the Deadliest Warband. Sure, now it'll work. And I'm back, now that I actually have a charge cord. Do I have enough paintbrushes in my ears? Charge cord for my camera. So, yeah, he always brings elite dwarfs for his army lists when he runs his dwarf army. I don't think he has very many standard troops for it at all. So yeah, he came out on top. Final battle was filmed versus Travis's Moria, and that's actually over on the OSBGL channel. Don Barnett, Garrett, trying to do two things at once. It doesn't go over that well sometimes. And Andrew all gave a little bit of commentary on it, so that was kind of fun to watch and listen to. Sorry we were a little noisy in the background if you go over there and watch that video. So that's why I needed the Ruffians there, Damian, was for that event. The next event that's coming up is Scouring of the West Farthing, hosted by the OHA, who you were kind enough to wear one of their shirts. Maybe I'll get one this weekend, who knows. Or today, because that's when this event is happening. In Videoland, it will be the day that I post this. So I'm just painting up my army for that right now. So yeah, it's looking like it's going to be an amazing event. More fun again than competitive, because they're not competitive guys at all. Well, they're starting to become. They're realizing that competitive play can also be fun, but any event that they run is going to be a fun and fluffy event. More for scenario play than competitive. Competitiveness? Is that a word? I think that's a word. We're going to go with that's a word. Is my head really cut off? Oh well. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, so that's the event that I'm going down today, actually. Yesterday in Videoland. So that should be fun. And then my event, is coming up after that for the OSBGL hosted by Blackfyre. Yeah, I know we're a little confusing over here. We have a lot of groups going on. But yeah, so Blackfyre is hosting it through the OSBGL. It's a tournament. We're going to be using the Throne of Skulls army special bonuses, so hopefully see some interesting new lists out there. I'm running it, but I'm going to try and get an Army of the Dead done as my army if needed type thing, because sometimes sometimes you can't find a ringer, and sometimes you just have to play yourself. So that might happen with me, and hopefully I've got enough. I'm thinking of to run it. I'm running it at 500 point level, so hopefully I've got enough guys for that. We'll see. I just got some in from Poland. Where'd the box go? I think Poland. I forget. Yeah. So that's kind of the events that are coming up. Where am I at for time? Only 3 minutes. Not bad. 3 minutes plus the other 5 that I already did. Yeah. Let's get into some of the stuff that you talked about. Chatham. Right. Okay. That was one thing you said. You weren't sure how far Chatham was, the scouring of the West Farthing, of how far they are from kind of us. So I would say about 70% of the OSBGL is in the Greater Toronto area. We're about, which is about an hour and a half from downtown Toronto. It's kind of in that bubble. Then the other one, I said 70, right? Yeah, I think I said 70. The other 25% is within probably a 3-4 hour drive type thing. And then the last 5% can go all the way. We have guys that come out to our event. Devin comes up from the States sometimes. We have Jordan. Yes, his name is Jordan. He comes from Montreal sometimes to some of our further west events. And our events kind of happen in a 4-hour bubble of Toronto. 4-hour bubble. We do some in Ottawa. We did one this year in Ottawa. We might do one next year down in Chatham or London or something like that with the OHA guys. So we're kind of a larger demographic. Well, no. We're probably about the same size as the GBHL, but most of our guys go to all of the events. As opposed to where I believe with your guys, from what I can see, you kind of pick and choose which events are closest to you, and then those are the ones that you go to, where I would say a good group of 12 of our guys try and make it out to all of the events no matter where they are. So there is a little bit more driving, and most of our events are single day, which is different than you guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think most of you do double day events, so we don't do a lot of hotel staying and that sort of thing. When needed, when it's the long drive, like we're going down to Chatham tonight, just so that we can actually be there nice and early in the morning. When we did the 3-day event in Ottawa, of course, a bunch of people stayed over on that one. So hotels sometimes become a thing. Some people do hotels, some people do Airbnb. Airbnb kind of seems to be the cheaper of the option, and it still gives us some really incredible places to stay, as opposed to staying in a dive hotel or a dive motel. And yeah, so that's, to answer that question, that's kind of how we do with accommodations and that sort of thing. But we are a little bit different because most of our events are single day. So you drive there, you do the event, you drive home. So yeah, so that's a little bit, something that's a little bit different. You should totally do the Monster Mash for the event on October 21st, which is the same day as my event, actually. Just bring monsters. They're fun. They're funny. I prefer to play fun and funny than ultra competitive, so my suggestion is always go with the fluffy list. There's one guy over here who always brings eagles, John, and I always tell him to bring eagles. Doesn't matter what, I will make it work so that he can bring eagles to any of my events and not have a total sink waste of points. But yeah, so I always say go fun and fluffy, so that will be fun. This is my list of stuff to talk about. So you gave me a lot, everyone. Damian, all the guys on YouTube, on Facebook. I had to go through like 5 different spots to find anywhere to comment on. So let's go to some of those. King Bonsai, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, I'm so lucky I haven't spilled Mishade yet. I love the name. But when Damian came to me to talk about this whole idea that he had about doing a back and forth, which I love, based on my first video, it's like, no, it can't be called Spill Your Shade because it's got to have something to do with going across time zones and going across that. But, by the way, if anybody's interested, I am in the Eastern time zone in North America. So right now it's 10 a.m. here, so it's 3 o'clock there in London. So some of you guys are probably just about to get off work, go home, and that sort of thing. Well, no. Right now you are. When you watch this video, you're going to be enjoying your Saturday tea. Tea's probably around 3 o'clock. I'm guessing that's when it happens. Tea time? Is that when tea time is? I don't know. I don't drink tea. I know. Blasphemy. Don't drink tea, don't drink coffee. So I'm a little bit of a nut, but it's just how I roll. So you can shun me now if you want. You can turn off the video, or you can continue watching and let me be alright with the fact that I don't drink tea. But yeah, so that's... Yeah, Spill Your Shade, yeah. Hi, Nando Dave. Thanks for the comment. I forget what it was. I put a little note just to say hi, so I'll say hi. Ryan, glad to see you getting into the hobby. Tips and tricks. Play with an army that you love. Because if you don't like the army, you're going to hate painting it. If you're not interested in the army, you're not going to learn the rules. So think about gameplay style, but also think about aesthetically which one you like the best. That's the best advice that I can give you at the start. Start small, start fun, have fun with it. Don't be afraid to try something different, to try something new, because that's where the fun of this game is. So, and also, if you want to try something out, definitely, I don't know where you live, but post in any of the groups that are local, and be like, hey, I want to try this army out. Who has it that I can borrow? Tips and tricks. Use the Hobgob. Something that's been said about us at the OSBGL, and I'm sure it's the same over at the guys at the GBHL. I've done a lot of demo games and that sort of thing, and then tried to get new people into the hobby, and one comment that I've always gotten is, man, you guys are always so friendly. Like, you're always willing to jump in to do new games and that sort of thing, and it's something that I found when I started with the OSBGL and Blackfyre, was that we're always here for each other, because we have to be, or else our hobby won't grow, or that sort of thing. So don't be scared to put yourself out there, to ask for assistance. I'm sure there will be people local that are willing to help. Hopefully there are people local. But yeah, do that. What do you like to see? What's your favorite army? Tell me about it in the comments down below, and I'll respond. But yeah. What else do we have going on here? Oh! Yeah, Middle Earth SPG Sweden. I know my table's not that bad, but I don't like it being this bad. I like it a little bit more neat and organized. I don't know why, I just do. It just seems like a cluster mess right now. I need more space. I live in the basement of a townhouse, so, and I kind of use my living room as also my gaming room, so I've got my own living room down here, and so kind of stuff, it's in a constant flux. It expands out and goes everywhere, and then it comes back down to nice and neat and clean, and then expands out and comes back down. I didn't write down your name, whoever was talking about battle companies, but you can actually go check us out at Blackfyre, some of our other videos, and Adam right now is doing a narrative scenario with kind of using the battle company rules, and it is called The Whispers in the North. So it's kind of a cool segment. I watched him film one of them. They're great. He's having fun with it. It's got that narrative thing that we like, but it's also still competitive and fun and fluffy. So go check that out. It's a good segment. He's been pounding them out hard. So go support my buddy Adam over on this channel. Bubbles, he is a good Canadian. I forget who commented that one. My handwriting's messy, and I also wrote some of these notes last night, so I'm trying to remember what I wrote and not really remembering it. But yeah, Bubbles is a good Canadian. A little too much of an alcoholic for me, but that's okay. I don't watch Trailer Park Boys. I know some guys who have worked on it, though. Little anecdote. Let's see, what are we doing on time? Yeah, we're still good. A little anecdote about them and me. I work in the theater industry, So one of my buddies actually knew the weapons and money and drug guy who worked on that. So he was like the gun wrangler and that sort of thing for that TV show. And one day his truck breaks down when his back is full of fake marijuana and guns and everything like that. So he gets a buddy to come pick him up, but he takes the guns, but he leaves the marijuana and the fake money and all of that sort of thing. Next day he comes back, truck's gone. Well, is the truck gone or did they break into it? They didn't break into it. It was the cops. They found the vehicle, they found all the stuff in it, so they took it and impounded it. And yeah, he got in a little bit of trouble, but then he pulled out all of his permits and all the paperwork and everything like that, and they were like, "Oh, okay, you know what you're doing." So yeah, so he got it all back. It's just funny that they couldn't tell the difference, and so they impounded the whole vehicle and contacted him and that sort of thing. It's just like, what do you do, right? When your car breaks down, you can't take everything with you, especially when he has a truck that's probably full. Adam, it was a joke. It was completely a joke. I knew where you were going, but I had to razz you a little bit about it just because that's my type of humor. So I'm looking forward to Articon. I think we've got about 8 guys that are confirmed going, a couple more that are on the fence. So hopefully the tickets don't sell out, even though they're, from what I've been told, with people saying that they're interested in that sort of thing, it's getting close. So if you want to go to Articon, meet me, meet Adam, meet all the guys over at the GBHL, and you're not from there, because I know a lot of you are from there, definitely go buy tickets, go talk to Andreas on, oh god, what's his acronym? That's gonna bug me. I'm not gonna try and say it, because over on the Speak Friend segment that James did on Hot Gate Gaming, calling you out on it a little bit. STF. There we go. Over on STF. Go message him if you're international. He's got all the information that you'll ever need. Some people are jumping up and becoming captains for their local community and that sort of thing, and he knows them all, and he's got them all on Facebook and can point you in the right direction. So definitely go give them a shout if you're thinking, but you probably already all know this because of the amazing job that they're doing. What was that? Oh yeah, that's how I got into that tangent, was Adam. Yeah, I was completely joking, Adam. Can't wait to meet you. Wish I could come over more often, but seeing as I'm still paying off my student loans, I'm doing the best that I can. And Jin, TMI. Just saying. Just you and Adam can do what you do. I will back off completely. My bad for stepping on those toes. Kidding. Nah, Jin. I can't wait to hopefully meet you at some point. Maybe Nova next year. Maybe you'll come out to our GT, the OSBGL Grand Tournament. It's a one-day event. It's being hosted in January. I know you always comment that summers are bad for you because of pecking order at work. So come out in January. Toronto doesn't get that bad, so you won't die of snow. You from the west coast there, because none of you guys are used to it. I'm from New Brunswick, so I'm used to actually more snow than we even get here in Toronto, which isn't much. But yeah, come on out. Love to meet you. Yes, I did get your the money for the dice order that I'm doing, so I've made up some Canadian Blackfyre dice that I'm doing a little order of. So they just pre-ordered some before I actually do the big order. So I'll post the link down below, the image, and see what people think. If any of you guys that are now watching it want some. They're $2 Canadian a dice, and then shipping is on top of that, and we can do a bit of a deal if you buy a bunch. And yeah, so we're just going to order them probably a couple weeks, and then we'll ship the guys out who have bought the ones who have shipped, and figure out money from there and do all that fun stuff. And that's a yucky base, but okay. Second-hand models, what do you expect? 17 minutes? Man, I feel like I'm powering through this. Damian? I have Frodo. Oh, there we go. So, I know your love for the pop vinyls that you mentioned in the last one, and I've got one of my own. I've also got a Star Wars one. I started to buy them, and then I started to like a lot of them, and then it was just like, no, I gotta stop. So I only have the two. I'm gonna keep it simple, keep it small, because if I go big, I'm gonna go hard, and I'm gonna spend a lot of money on vinyls that I don't really have room for. So, yours look great though. I love the Invisible Frodo. That's one model, like GW model that I need to buy. No, wait, that's a lie. I've got the Invisible Frodo. Bought him off of a Kijiji buy or something like that. I forget what, eBay maybe. But no, I need the Footsteps one. That's kind of one of my last models for my Fellowship collection that I needed. I could have gone ham and collected a bunch, but I like different models and stuff that I like and that sort of thing, and the evil dudes that I'll never play because I always play good. But I decided that I was like, no, the one thing that I'll collect is the Fellowship. And I'm just going to stick with the Fellowship. I'm going to get all the models that are available for the Fellowship. I still need to get some of the newer like Legolas models because, yeah, I don't have any of the Hobbit era stuff. I only actually own 5 Finecast models, period. So I'm pretty proud of that fact. Of my like 300, 400 plus models, I only own 5 Finecast. So, yeah. What else is on this thing? Monster Mash, I want to see that. Stockport and Flames, that should be fun. Yeah, it's the same day as mine. I think I already talked about that. Most drive with that. Oh, 13 models in a month? Pfft, I don't do 13 models in a year. That's why I'm doing this segment. To try and actually up my painting game, because I always drag my feet and I don't do it. One time I was like, oh man, I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a model a day while I was at home in New Brunswick for 3 months, and I was like, by the time I get back to Ontario, I'm gonna do a model a day, so that means I need to do almost 100 models. I don't think I did one. So that didn't last long. So hopefully this lasts. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up now. I'm just about finished doing all the wood guys on my Gondor. I'm not gonna show you these guys right now because they're not great. They're nowhere near done, but I've dragged my feet again this week, and work became a little bit more complicated than I was hoping for. The fun part about working for yourself and being your own boss is sometimes your other bosses are like, hey, I need this done, and you're like, but that's when I was gonna do other things. So I work contract work. I do work for a theater in town that puts me on their call list, so it's kind of, some weeks I can work 60 hours a week, other weeks I can work 0. So one of these became a longer week than it was supposed to be. So hopefully you enjoyed my rambling. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to go over and watch Damian's from last week, which I will tag down below. Okay. And then I'm going to figure out this Hammerthon thing too, so that I can get some support up and maybe get some support from some of you guys for the McMaster's Children's Hospital down in Hamilton, Ontario. We're doing an event with them. So hopefully I can get some support for that and get some money for Hammerthon. Probably not get much, but every little penny helps. And yeah, I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to leave it at that. Why not? Don't forget to ignite your hobby. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I cannot say that as fast as Damian can. Holy crap, you have that down pat. I had to listen to it twice to actually understand what you were saying on that one. So that was funny. And yeah, looking to hear from you soon, Damian. Talk to you later, man. Bye. I totally forgot to mention one thing. So at the Skywring the West Farthing with the OHA guys, they are incredible terrain makers. I literally turned off the camera, remember that I wanted to talk about this, and then turned it back on. They're incredible terrain makers. George down there does spectacular work, and then Jamie does an amazing job of getting his work out to the world. so that they can see what he does. So you've probably seen the photos, but I just have to say I'm so excited to be playing on these boards. So it's going to be fun. They look amazing. I just want to give props to George over there because the work that he does is incredible. I'm envious. I wish I had that much time and focus to build some bigger boards like that. But yeah, keep up the good work, man, because it's absolutely incredible. And yeah, that's it. Now I'm good. Ignite your hobby. See you later, guys.